As Iran is in midst of war against its adversaries, Israel and United States, Putin announced Russia's unwavering support for Tehran. As the war in the Middle East enters day 10, Putin's support for Iran can add further fuel to the already burning equation. After more than a week, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed in U.S.-Israeli joint strikes. Iran has named his son, Mojtaba Khamenei, as the next supreme leader. The Russian president sent a telegram message to Mojtaba Khamenei to congratulate him on becoming his father's successor. Encouraging Mojtaba for his new role, Putin showed confidence in him and wrote, "I am sure that you will honorably continue your father's work and unite the Iranian people." Furthermore, Putin reassured and wrote, "I want to confirm our unwavering support of Tehran and our solidarity with our Iranian friends."
Today, as Iran is opposing an armed aggression, your work in this high post will certainly require immense courage and selflessness. I am confident that you will continue your father's work with honor and consolidate the Iranian people in the face of harsh ordeals. On my part, I want to confirm our unwavering support of Tehran and our solidarity with our Iranian friends. Russia has been and will remain the Islamic Republic's reliable partner. I wish you success in tackling the challenges in front of you, good health and strong spirit.
Soon after the second son of the late Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Mojtaba named as the Supreme Leader, celebrations erupted across Iran as hundreds of people took to the streets to celebrate his appointment. Support pouring from various segments of Iran as IRGC and General Staff of the Armed Forces pledged support to Mojtaba Khamenei. Shortly after his name was announced, Press TV reported that Iran had launched 2 waves of missiles toward Israel. According to the Jerusalem Post, fragments from one of the missiles landed in central Israel, leaving 1 person injured. As the Iran versus U.S. and Israel war is worsening with each day after U.S. targeting Iranian oil refineries, Putin's unwavering support for Iran might not go down well with the U.S. President Donald Trump. Earlier, a disappointed Trump also warned Russia that if it is providing Iran with crucial information, it's not helping much.
Mr. Peskov, have you communicated to the Russians not to send targeting information and other assistance to the Iranians?
Strongly said that.
And do you believe that they are?
I hope they're not.
Do you see any evidence?
We don't know, but it's not doing very well. If they are, it's not helping much. If you take a look at what's happened to Iran in the last week, if they're getting information, it's not helping them much.
What would it mean to you if they were? I mean, even if it's not helping the Iranians particularly much, it's still involving themselves in a conflict that they're not directing.
They'd say we do it against them, wouldn't they? Huh? Wouldn't they say that? We do it against them? I don't know. Look, they can give all the information that they want, but the people they're sending it to are overwhelmed. Russia would be overwhelmed too. Anybody would be overwhelmed. We have the greatest military on earth, and I built it in my first term, and unfortunately, I'm forced to use it now. But when you look at what we did with Venezuela, when you look at what we did with the B-2 bombers, that was a very big moment because Iran was going to have a nuclear weapon within 2 or 3 weeks, and that stopped it, and it stopped it cold. And you ask about maybe going back and getting that, something could happen at the right time.
Is Iran running out of missiles and drones, or do you expect those counterattacks to continue with them?
Not only that, manufacturing capability also. We've hit the manufacturing very hard. They're at about 9% of what they sent out in the first 2 days. And we think that's because they don't have that much. We've knocked out about 70% of the launchers. The launchers are a big deal. Very hard to get, very expensive.
We want to talk about leverage. With every passing day, we have more and more leverage because we have more and more capabilities. We're hitting them harder and harder, and they have less of an ability to defend themselves. So we're pressing the offensive. every single day, creating all the leverage the president needs for the outcome he wants.
It sounds like you think they're running out of one or both of the drones and the missiles.
When you look, I mean, they're sending in much less drones. They're being decimated now. You know, at some point, I don't think there'll be anybody left maybe to say we surrender, but they're being decimated. And when you look also, they all of a sudden they apologized to the Middle Eastern states that they shot at them. I was very surprised to see they did that, but you mark that down as a victory for us and for the Middle Eastern states who are really friends of ours. But I guess they're not going to be shooting at them anymore. They apologized, and we'll see what happens. But that's a big loss. That's a surrender right there. I called it a surrender to them. When they apologized and said they're not shooting at them anymore, that's really a surrender to those states and to us. Okay, anything else?
Some Iranians are concerned that the Kurds will carve out kind of an autonomous region as they did in Syria and Iraq.
We're not looking to the Kurds going in. We're very friendly with the Kurds, as you know, but we don't want to make the war any more complex than it already is. No,
Rule that out.
we don't want. Yeah, I have ruled it out. I don't want the Kurds going in. I don't want to see the Kurds get hurt, get killed. We've had a good relation. They're willing to go in, but I've told them I don't want them to go in.
Do you think the map of Iran will look the same?
The war is complicated enough without getting the Kurds involved.
And do you think the map of Iran looks the same after this is all done?
That I can't tell you. Probably not.
Do you know if any shipping companies have taken the U.S. off on its offer of insurance to go through the Strait of Hormuz?
We have it set up. We have a great insurance and reinsurance system, but I don't.
Sorry, when you talk about
When this ends, we're going to have a much safer world. You know that. So, this is a minor excursion. But when this ends, we're going to have a much safer world. And we will have gotten rid of a lot of sick and demented people, the leadership. So we got rid of the one leadership, then we got rid of the second level of leadership. Now they're on their third or fourth level of leadership. And they have leaders right now that nobody even knows who they are.
What you just witnessed make you think differently about going ahead with this war or even putting troops on the ground in the Middle East?
We're winning the war by a lot. We've decimated their whole evil empire. It'll continue, I'm sure, for a little while. But very proud of the people, the parents. The parents were so proud of their boy, as they call him, my boy, in case the young lady. The parents are so proud. Many of them are military parents, as you know. So but it's always a very sad thing. The war itself is going unbelievably. It's as good as it can be.
1 week in at this point, how long, as of now, do you expect
I think we've accomplished more in 1 week than anyone thought possible. We've wiped out their Navy, 44 ships. We've wiped out their Air Force, every plane. We've wiped out most of their missiles. You see, the missiles aren't coming much anymore. We've also hit their manufacturing areas where they make the missiles very hard. Their drone capacity is way down. And we've hurt them where it hurts. Including about every form of leadership you can have, we've wiped out.
You still expect up to 6 weeks total?
I don't know. I never reject that, whatever it takes. But the military is almost non-existent, if you like. We could hit the military itself very hard, but maybe we will, maybe we won't. We haven't made that determination.